Disability is often viewed as an atypical development in an individual's socio-psychological life, which can hinder personal growth and overall development. While some studies suggest that disability in some form affects all people, those living with disabilities encounter significant challenges. These include discrimination, stigmatization, limited accessibility to social facilities, and general underestimation. Several PWDs, including those with physical disabilities, wheelchair users, and individuals with visual impairment, share their concerns and frustrations.
I believe every person with disability first in Nigeria is a lack of accessibility. Now we have restriction of accessing public and private structures. Now you find out that you go to some hotels, they are not accessible. You want to use the toilet, it's not accessible. And even in our institution, I remember when I was in the university, I have these challenges of accessing some classrooms. So I miss a lot of lectures because I cannot have that lectures upstairs. So I think these are the major challenges we are having. So I'm calling on governments to do something to address inclusion and make everywhere accessible for every person with disability.
My challenges has really been reduced, so to say. But there's also the challenge of, I have to go back to school to try to learn again and, to forge ahead. There's also the financial aspect, and then there's the discrimination people have with, when they see a visually impaired person. They feel you cannot do so much. They feel you are helpless. And that's absolutely not true, because we can do a lot of things. We can, as long as we're given the opportunity right now. I can navigate on my own. I can do things on my phone by myself. I can use the system on my own. And with the right training, with the right inclusion strategy, I feel every person with disability can be all that they can be.
One of the challenges I face is lack of accessibility, because I'm a wheelchair user, and stigmatization due to my disability. Being a person with disability, some people, they tend to abuse me through underrating me. For example, in my place of work, when I do things some people, able-bodied people cannot do, they tend to recognize it and give me the needed reward. That is one of the challenges.
Grace Jerry, the Executive Director of the Inclusive Friends Association IFA, criticized the lack of comprehensive data on gender-based violence both among PWDs and general population. She called on the government and influential figures in the society to ensure the domestication and sincere implementation of the Disability Act to protect the rights of PWDs.
Conducting this project in different states across Nigeria, and our aim basically is to strengthen the capacity, like I said, of young advocates, of persons with and without disabilities, to continue to combat and speak up and amplify the issues around both gender and disability-based violence against women and girls. You will agree with me that there have been pockets of interventions, there have been issues, there even have been data around how issues around gender-based violence are being addressed around the country. But you would agree with me also that there's a lack of data when it comes to how issues of women and girls with disabilities are even documented. How are these women represented? How are they even supported? We have the lack of that data, and that is what this project seeks to address.
We all need to show sympathy and empathy, for people living with a disability. So we need to join hands and collaborate to make sure that this issue of violence, especially as it is being, giving us, in kind of orientation and sensitization in this program, we need to work against it so that people living with disability, they can live a normal life, and they can fulfill their potentials.
Stakeholders said it is imperative that the government at all levels formulate socio-economic policies that promote the development and inclusion of all citizens, particularly those living with disabilities.